Barbara McManus, welcome
Thank you very
to the
much.
Vic Arts interview on what's been going on. Now, Barbara, you've been a long-time member of the Society. When did you join?
I have. I think it was about 1978.
1978.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And in all that time, what have you done here at the Society? What roles have you taken?
Well, I was invited to come on council
Yes.
because I had been painting already for about 6 years in Waverley. And then I joined here, started exhibiting, and before long I was asked to join the council. And do you remember Marjorie Fitzgerald Boyle? She
Yes.
was on the council as well, and she was leaving. And one day she said, "Would you take my place in the teaching?" So that's when it started. So,
Well, since that time, you've had a fair few classes. Now, you specialise in pastel.
Pastel and oils.
Pastel and
yes,
oils.
not watercolour. I leave that to the experts. But it's mainly portraiture and still life. And I think that those two mediums are ideal for those subjects.
Why do you like the pastel so much?
Well, it's very immediate. As I was saying to you, you can just put a short time into busy times. It's busy times now. And I feel with a pastel, you could just put in half an hour. You'll go away, you'll come back, and it hasn't changed. Whereas you'd have to think twice before squeezing out a lot of paint, which you would need if you were doing an oil. So it suits today's living. We're busy people.
With the portraits, and I've watched you on numerous occasions do beautiful portraits and actually taken a lot of photos of them. How do you start? What's your starting point?
Well, I was just speaking to that young man who came through, who's actually going to draw this afternoon, and I draw in the morning. And he wanted to know, when he saw the portraits here, how do I start? Just what you're saying. I don't draw in. I actually treat a pastel exactly the same way as I would an oil, which is working in patches of colour and tone. And then you must use your background, because so many times the background is neglected. People are only looking at the object, forgetting about the space, and the space shapes the form. So there, in a few words.
In a few words.
Yes.
Oh, well, lots of people will pick
Just
up
like
that tip, yes.
Yeah.
The other area that you are in, of course, is you've been teaching, as you mentioned.
Yes.
How do you find that?
It's exciting, actually. I've often felt that people who have been painting for some time would do better if they took a small teaching job, because by doing that you have to remember deep down the way you worked in the beginning, and I think it helps to project that to people, especially beginners. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, as an art teacher it does.
Yes.
The other issue is we have all ages in the Society. What do you think of the blend of ages we've got?
I just love it. I really love it. Love to see young people come in. Love to see the older ones still enjoying it. What could be better than that?
There's a lot of very interesting conversations go in that studio out the back.
Oh yes, we do. No, it's a lovely feeling. Great camaraderie, I suppose you'd say there. And everyone's very encouraging about everyone else. What can be better than that? It's lovely.
You've seen the building be renovated. What's your sort of your quick grab of what does it mean?
Oh, it's just so wonderful to see the way it's just a phoenix rising from the ashes. It was looking a bit tired, wasn't it? It
Yes.
really was. And with this exhibition of mine, and when people came in to see the exhibition, almost immediately I was saying, "But look at the building."
Yeah.
I almost felt as though it was my house. I took them on a tour, and what I love too is be able to go out onto the balcony and always tell them about Dame Nellie Melba singing out into the street. What a lovely story.
Well, it is, because the very room that you and I are sitting in
Yeah.
was her office for around about 40 years.
Yeah.
Where she trained all of the singers, and then they'd go upstairs to the top gallery to actually do their debut of their coming out, as one might say.
Yes, it's just magic.
But the building now in its restored area is of course ready for the big celebration,
Yes.
the 150th next year.
Yes, how exciting.
Now, before we go, I just want to ask a little bit about your exhibition here.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
You have a vast range of topics, but you mainly concentrate on your still lifes
And small figure studies,
and
people in
portrait.
situations, because I've travelled quite a lot. I was on my own in Marseille last year and Lyon, and I love to see people in those colourful outfits, and that really is one of my main interests.
And obviously I can see around the wall a lot of red dots.
Yes, I've been very lucky this time. I think, well, they're reasonable in price too, and people can usually fit a little one in somewhere, can't they?
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Barbara McManus, last words on the Vic Arts. Would you encourage young artists to join?
Oh, I would. And you know, might sound strange, but I think sometimes the fact that we are Victorian puts people off. They seem to think it's old-fashioned, and it's not. Not at all. Do you see what I mean there? We're the only society in Australia that's called Victorian because of our state. But it also ties in to Victorian times when you look at it like that.
It certainly does.
Yes.
Once again,
I'm proud of it.
thank you. I know you are so proud of
I love
it.
it so much.
Thank you very much for joining the Vic Arts commentary interview of the day.
Well, thank you for listening to me.